Okay, the next job I have to do is I have to clean out the pot of the gun and get all the paint residue out of there. Now this is just a really boring job, but most of you probably don't realise quite how long it can take to do this. And what I'll do is I'll just film this quickly, and then if it proves to be tedious, we'll speed it up. So I just use plain thinner for this job. You can buy gun cleaner, you can buy automatic gun cleaners. This gun is under $15. It's about 12 or 14 pounds, I think, in the UK. It's a very cheap gun, and so I don't worry too much about cleaning them with expensive cleaners. So I just blow a little bit of thinner through. It just takes waste paint out the nozzle, and then we can take off the pot. Basically, we're going to tear this whole thing down a little bit at a time. I just put the waste paint back into the pot that I used to mix because I can clean it all up afterwards. This is just rag. I keep loads of rag to clean everything. The cleaner you get it, the better your next job will be. What I've got is I've got separate guns for top coat and base and primer because they're so cheap. Because for Nerf stuff you really don't need a big gun, you can just use these little cheap ones. Right, now I'm running a 1.3 nozzle in this gun, and then I run a 1mm or a 1.2 in the clear coat gun. So that leaves us now to tear the gun down and just take all of the parts out, and I need my cleaning tray. I'm just using this plastic pot lid at the moment. This solvent's not strong enough to melt the pot lid, and the advantage of this is it's just swirl it out to get any grit out. It's reusable. When it melts I'll throw it away. So take that apart, more spanner, take off the nozzle, and that can just go in there. Chuck a bit of thinner in there to clean the nozzle out, and then I'll clean the gun through with just a run through. I just use a cotton swab for this job. You have to be careful the heads don't come off and that you don't get any cotton into your gun because it will get in your paint. It's not as good as having a little cleaning brush, but I'm tight. And like I say, these are so cheap. And that's the nozzle, that's the needle, and I've got to take the needle out next. The needle comes out from the back. Obviously you can keep the body of the gun a lot cleaner than this, and there's the spring which we don't want to lose. Again, we want to keep that clean. You can see my bench is minging, and then just pop out the back. I'm sure there are proper gun cleaning tutorials on YouTube, but this is just how I do mine between primers. That's the volume control screw, and then just get the needle clean. Then I normally put that inside the pot, and I'll put the control screw down there, and then I can really clean out this cavity in here. Just want to get in there with the swab. Just get any paint that's accumulated in the bottom that's really dirty. Then throw the swabs away afterwards. Don't put them into anything that might end up in the sea. They're really bad for the environment. You can get ones with, this one's got a paper stem, but I try not to throw these in anything except the incinerator waste, so that I know they're getting burned up and not ending up in the sea. Because we're in a coastal area, I have to be double careful about that kind of thing. So cleaning all of that out, and then a little bit of thinner through just to make sure there's no residue in there. Always tilt down because you don't want it to go all over the needle seal and wreck the needle seal. And then wipe there. To be careful that you don't point it in your face and then accidentally squirt yourself. Blow a little air through. Right, that's the main body of the gun, pretty much done for now. Obviously if you were doing a super clean you'd take all this off, you'd soak it and you'd do it all again, but it's just primer, I'm not going to care about that. And then I've got my paint waste and I just accumulate that in a pot, and then I let the thinners evaporate off, and then I've got a buddy that helps me dispose of my paint waste environmentally, so he has to anyway. I just pay him. So now I've got to clean the nozzle out, and I've got to clean the air cup. Again, this has got to be nice and clean. You don't want any little particles of primer in there and get blown onto your next job. And these are the little vents here that the stuff comes out of. It's the air comes out of there and it atomizes the paint stream, so you don't want those dirty. Again inside. Polish it off, and that can go down there ready to go back on. And then the nozzle. You need to be really careful cleaning the nozzle. Ideally you'd get a little nozzle cleaner. There's commercial nozzle cleaners and gun cleaning kits and stuff, but I haven't got any of that jazz. Just use the stick and then tip it back. And then we can put it on there and we can just make sure the nozzle's flowing in a minute. So that's all ready. I've just got to clean off the top of the lid here. So, there we go, just check that. Atomizing nicely. Don't want any thinner left in the gun. And then I've got to clean the top of the lid and I'm good. That's the hole that lets the air in the top. Just in here, there's a little hole. Just balances the feed of air through. I've got a nail for cleaning that somewhere. Again, a little bit thinner. Push through from the inside just to get any crap out of the balance. There. It's always dirty in there. And then a bird crapped on it. A really small bird flew in and pooed on the top of my gun. There we go, done. And I've just got to clean this little pot out with the remaining thinners. And then she's ready to go.